Good evening and welcome to another edition of The Way I See It. I am Ralph Williams. It's great to be here tonight. And if you're a first-time watcher, we're here on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitch. Now, tonight, I was trying to get us in on LinkedIn, and I was having a little bit of issues tonight. We're getting ready to add LinkedIn to another platform for you to watch The Way I See It. And The Way I See It tonight is brought to you in part by Robin Campbell Insurance. Call Robin today, 412-366-3399. That's 412-366-3399. Robin Campbell Insurance. Give him a call. Tonight's edition of The Way I See It is brought to you in part by Robin Campbell Farmers Insurance. All right, let's get started here with our Chinese wisdom. Go with the flow will make your transition even so much easier. And that tonight is our Chinese wisdom. All right, let's get into our blast segment right now. As you well know, we always have our blast segment brought to you by DJ Fun. DJ Fun is a party and wedding and special event DJ. Give DJ Fun a call today, 412-545-4317. Call DJ Fun today for all your DJ needs. If you need them for a party or any kind of an event, give them a call today. All right, next. All right, we're going to get our blast segment here right now, here on The Way I See It tonight. We have a lot to talk about tonight, so we're going to try to get through this as fast as we can. But we have a whole lot to talk about and some other stuff as well going on. I have something I want to add to something that happened yesterday, and I'll tell you about that later. All right, our blast segment. First, we're going to start off with North Huntington, Irwin. You know, the folks who live in North Huntington, Irwin, you folks really ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Let me tell you why. First of all, why would you turn down a tax for the library? The library, people. Of all things to turn a tax down for is for the library. All right? All these libraries that are in this area, in the North Huntington, Irwin area, they need help. And they need this extra tax. You know, the library does things for kids, families. You can go to the library, read a book. You can go there, use a computer. The library is a very good public resource. And you turn down a tax increase for the library? What is wrong with you folks in North Huntington and Irwin? That's why I'm blasting you tonight, and that's the way I see it. Next, I'm blasting the DA's office. Why didn't you have your ducks in a row when you went in with this hearing for this kid you arrested about the Kennywood thing? That you got so embarrassed by his defense lawyer that you ended up he ended up being not guilty, all right? And now he's out on the street, and we don't know if this kid's dangerous because you didn't do your job in the DA's office. Thanks, guys. Thanks to DA's office. That's why I'm blasting you tonight for this. You should have had your ducks in a row with this, and you didn't. And now you got embarrassed on the news, and you got embarrassed in the courtroom, and that tonight is the way I see it. All right. Okay, next, we're going to talk about the Pittsburgh Career Institute. Those of you who are not aware, there's a institute downtown called the Pittsburgh Career Institute. You can go there for multiple things, all right, business, massage, whatever, okay? And nursing, I believe, because I always see people out there with, those nursing uniform or medical scrubs on, things like that. So anyway, the Pittsburgh Career Institute decided to shut the school down and let the students know at the last minute. They never gave the students any, and I'm talking about no kind of notice. Nothing whatsoever. No kind of notice at all. You know, that's sad because I'm going to tell you what. I'm really fired up about this because why would you do this at the last minute? Why don't you give these kids at least a little bit of time to go out and find another school? Okay, you go, and it's before the holidays. The holidays are coming up. And now these kids got to go home and say at the holidays, well, I got to go find another school to go to. Another school has come up, but this should have never happened. Pittsburgh Career Institute, shame on you. You should have never done this. That's the way I see it tonight. Next, we're going to talk about Doug Mastriano. Now, breaking news tonight, Doug Mastriano has finally conceded to Josh Shapiro. But I'm still going to blast him anyway because he should have conceded a long time ago. Instead, he decides to come up tonight because I had to make sure all the votes were right. I don't trust the voting system. Well, you know something, Mastriano? I said this on the last show, and I'm going to say it again tonight. I would have voted for you if you weren't associated with Donald Trump and you weren't part of January 6th. I did not like what Shapiro did during COVID. I didn't like the way he stuck up for the dictator. I didn't like how he stuck up with Rachel Levine. So I told you I was not a fan of Josh Shapiro. But when you were involved in that January 6th thing, that canceled your whole thing right out. Plus, you associated yourself with Trump. I want nothing to do with you, Doug Mastriano. Anyway, that's the way I see it tonight with him. Next, we're going to get involved in our boneheaded segment. Now, tonight's boneheaded segment is the polling guy who went to the polls and took pictures. Now, this guy obviously didn't get the memo. And the memo was that, okay, you are not allowed to take pictures at the the voting places. Well, he decides he's going to go there and take pictures. Then he gets arrested. So he gets arrested for that. Now he has to spend a night in jail. Plus, on top of that, he looked really awful tonight. That's the way I see it on that bonehead. Next bonehead, the guy who tried to steal his car. The guy who tried to take his car did take his car out of the impound lot. Why would you even consider doing that? If you would have paid your bill, maybe you're one of those kind of guys that went out and decided to go get a car. Now, I don't know your situation. Maybe you went out and got yourself a car, and you decided that all of a sudden I'm going to be lazy and I'm not going to pay the bill. And then you go and you get the car impounded, and all of a sudden now, okay, you want to go when it gets impounded to the impound lot and cause a problem. Well, you know what? You are really just a bonehead, all right? And for you to do that. Next, the guy who left his child with 3 strange men, and then to go with his girlfriend, and he was married. Oh my gosh, what a bonehead! Why? How could some of these people be so stupid? I'm talking about this guy here who decided to leave his kids with strange people, okay? Because he wanted to be out with his girlfriend, and he was cheating on his wife with this girl. Wow. Whoa. The 2 ladies who stole $23,000 of jewelry and perfume at the Nordstrom store out in Ross Park Mall. How could you be so dumb? Oh my gosh, that's a boneheaded move right there. And then think you're not going to get caught? Really? Oh my. That's my bonehead segment for tonight here on The Way I See It. All right, my life story tonight. This week was kind of uneventful a little bit. Took my wife to the doctor's appointment on Friday. And went to her. She's, as you well know, I don't know if you know, she had surgery on her toe, and we had to take her to the doctors on Friday. She actually, believe it or not, had to get her toe amputated. It was in a bad position. It was a hammer toe. They couldn't do too much with it otherwise, so they had to amputate it. So I took her Friday to the doctors, and I decided that I'm going to swing up to McDonald's and go get me a quick something small, some breakfast. Go up to McDonald's up there on Frankstown Road near Rhode Island Road. The line was out to the street. Not a car at Wendy's. Not one car. So I swung back around because if I would have sat in that line, we would have been there forever. So I turned around. I go down to Wendy's. Not a soul in line at Wendy's. I don't understand this at all. What is so enticing about McDonald's breakfast? And I understand McDonald's has a lot to offer, and everybody knows about McDonald's. You know what I'm hearing now? And this is how dense society is. I didn't know Wendy's had breakfast. I didn't know that. What? Things like this and some other things really make me wonder about society today with communication. You have cell phones. You have everything imaginable now to get a hold of somebody. email, texting, phone calls. I'm sorry. Emails and phone calls now, well, actually, emails and voicemail is something for people to hide behind, okay? Because I can't get people to return my emails or my phone calls or my texts about being guests on my shows, okay? So I understand what people go through, all right? So here we are, okay, with this now, all right? So what I can't understand is what is so enticing about McDonald's, about their breakfast, okay? All right, somebody please tell me. Well, I probably won't get an answer anyway because I never do, all right? I still haven't gotten the answers to about 10 questions that I've put over this air since the way I see it has been, and I have not received not one answer, not an answer whatsoever. So I'm not going to worry about this, okay? But anyway, so I go to Wendy's. The guy was there. I says, wow. I says, you guys don't make a lot of money. I says, but the only reason I told him I came there was because there was a crowd at McDonald's. I says, but see, I'm afraid to go to Wendy's anymore because what happened was I went to the one down on Baum Boulevard one Sunday on my way to church. And what happened? I went and used my credit card. And what happened? They took the credit card numbers down, whoever the help was there at the time, all right? And they stole out of my mom's bank account or my mom's, debit account, okay? So from now on, I was scared to go to a Wendy's because I thought it's done there. It's done everywhere almost, right? Call the manager. Manager didn't know nothing about it. Manager said this, said that. You know how it goes. Got the runaround. But anyway, I called corporate, okay, which I will do if I have to. I called corporate and got it worked out, and I told them what was going on there. I haven't seen those employees, so I'm assuming they got fired, okay? So that's the reason why I don't go to too many Wendy's, because of that incident, okay? So I didn't go to the Wendy's, and anyway, the Wendy's didn't even look like it was open, the one on Rhode Island Road, all right? Then I go down, then I find out that there's big thrift store. Gosh, it's been there forever. Went out of business. And I found out why. They put a Goodwill at the Rhode Island Road in that little shopping center there, Penn Shopping Center. They put a Goodwill in there, right next to the Planet Hollywood, or the Planet Fitness. Okay? That's why they moved out. All right? And what I don't understand here is, how come no one's going to these places? The economy's supposed to be so bad. We're supposed to be having problems. We're supposed to be this and supposed to be that with this economy, and we're supposed to be having holes in our wallets to where we can't keep our money keeps falling out and stuff like that. All right, but thrift stores are closing up. I don't get it. I just don't. All right, next we stopped at the Giant Eagle on Rhode Island Road. What an old Giant Eagle! You go in, you got the old door that you have to, go into, the little rubber platform there. It's really, really old. Like, why hasn't this Giant Eagle been fixed? I mean, it don't even have a sliding door. It has the old open push door. Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. Back in the day, in the old stores, some of them still do, but they didn't have none of the sliding doors like the current Giant Eagle. Not a bad Giant Eagle. It's clean. Wasn't busy. I mean, not at all. It wasn't busy at all. I actually was kind of surprised because there were a ton of cars parked out there, and I didn't see hardly anybody in the store. And I was like, whoa. So, and also took a trip down to Oakmont Bakery. Oh, my gosh. Wow. The auxiliary lot was even jammed up. It was crazy down at Oakmont Bakery, so we stopped down there on our way home, and I got to tell you, it's something else over there with Oakmont Bakery. They really do well over there. All right, we're going to get into our key topics for tonight, but first I want to talk about something here. Yesterday, Bill Cowher. Those of you who watch NFL football, I know some of you don't. A lot of you don't even get into sports because, of the money situation and things like that. There's a lot of reasons why people don't get into sports anymore, all right? Bill Cowher yesterday made a statement about Jeff Saturday. Okay, Jeff Saturday was a former center for the Indianapolis Colts. He was working with the Colts as a consultant. He was on network TV. He had some kind of gig? I think it was with NFL Network or something to that effect. Turns out, Jim Irsay, who's the owner of the Colts, decided to have Jeff Saturday be the new coach. He just, fired Frank Reich last week. All right. So anyway, make a long story short here with this guy. This is what happened. Well, Bill Cowher went on a rant. Now, I don't blame him. I really don't. In one perspective, I don't blame him. Okay. Because he's frustrated because it takes a while to get a broadcast or a coaching job. Okay. All right. And he declared he said something of fact that I had said a long time ago. It's all in who you know. All right. In broadcasting. All right. In this town, we still have the old boys gang. All right. And Bill Cowher confirmed it. He said it's all in who you know in broadcasting, but coaching, you got to work your way up to the, you got to work your way up through the ranks to become a coach. And he brought up a couple names like Steve Wilkes, who's the interim coach in Carolina, and things like that. And people have worked their way up like he did to become a head coach. And here's the guy who turned down college jobs, who turned down being a head coach in college or wherever, and being an assistant in the NFL. And all of a sudden now, he's the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, ahead of other guys who might be on the staff already that might be able to help. Okay, or be able to be the interim coach till you find somebody. Okay, somebody more qualified than a Jeff Saturday. Okay, now Bob Pompiani, who I call 10-job Bob because that's what he has, 10 jobs. Okay, those of you who don't know who he is, you're really hiding under a rock. Okay. He's a sports legend in this town. He's on KDK News. He does the nightly sports call, which I still haven't been invited on. Okay. He does the sports showdown, which I still haven't been invited on. And I'm not going to tell you what happened to where he owes me a favor from about 10 years ago. And I know he didn't forget. Okay. All right. So he has stabbed me in the back. All right. So, he has done that. Okay. Because the job that I wanted, he took. And then he tells me there was nothing available. But he takes the job. Right from underneath me, he takes the job. All right? And he knows what it is, and so do I, and so maybe do a few of you who understand what I'm talking about. Okay? So today, I was going to get on 93.7 The Fan with Cook Joe, and Pompiani comes on. I don't think they take calls because they didn't take mine. And I was going to get on there and I was going to say, hey, so he was on with Chris Hoke. Let me get back to this. And Chris Hoke and Bob Pompiani do this post-game show on the CW. And I watch it just to see what I can find out, what's going on, listen to what kind of callers are coming on, that kind of thing. Well, he said we have it in this business. Yeah, Bob, look at yourself first before you make comments. You not only stabbed me in the back, I don't know who else you might have stabbed in the back. Okay? Oh, he says we have it in this business too. Because they were talking about what Bill Cowher had to say. Well, we have it in this business too. So what you're trying to tell me, Bob, is I know you went to Point Park College. Somebody went here. The only reason Chris Hoke got his jobs is because he was an athlete. Okay? That's the only reason he got his broadcasting jobs in this town. He played for the Steelers. Okay? Do you catch what I'm saying? I did go to school for broadcasting. I did graduate. But God help you if you don't go to Duquesne or you don't go to Point Park in this town, because you will not get a job in broadcasting. That's a prejudice right there. Okay? All right? Here I am. I'm a guy that has an education. I've lived in this town my whole life. I'm good at what I do. And not one radio or TV station in this town wants to deal with me. Oh, I'm sorry. I have my show on PCTV. Okay? They don't want to deal with me. All right? And Bob, don't sit there and tell me you blew it. You blurted it out. We have it in this business too. Bob, look at yourself in the mirror before you even say anything about backstabbing or say anything about somebody else getting a job. Oh, well, yeah, we wouldn't be too happy either. Oh, so what you're saying is if I got a job that you wanted and I got it and you didn't get it, you're going to go badmouth me, just like Bill Cowher did to Jeff Saturday, right? Yeah. Just like I do here on this program. You're probably all thinking, well, you badmouth these people over here because I'm not jealous of them. I'm happy. I'm glad they have success. I am. I'm happy for them. Okay? But let me tell you this much. I don't know people's situations. Everybody has problems. Okay? Everybody has situations. All right? My situation is where if I'm 60 years old, I'm not getting myself banged up out there. If I'm 45 years old, like Tom Brady, I'm not getting myself banged up out there playing football. How much money do you need? Bob Pompiani, you got to be about 60 years old, dude. And you're working 10 jobs. You have 10 different jobs in broadcasting. 10 job Bob. Okay? All right. And you're going to sit there and say, we have it in our business. We should look at yourself. Look what you did to me. Okay? And don't deny it, because that's what goes on now in this town, in this business too. All right? Back in the day when I was in radio, all right, back in the late 80s, early 90s, they used to, if you knew somebody, you got a job. Now, you could know somebody and not get a job, or you can get a job. Okay? Now, they're hiring all these people out of Lanny Frateri's class down at Waynesburg now. Oh, I was in Lanny Frateri's class. I get a guaranteed job. Really? I wasn't in Lanny Frateri's class. I was in my own class. Okay? What? I'm less qualified than all of you in this media business here? And you want to cop an attitude if I was to get a job ahead of you? What, you think I haven't worked hard in my life? I have. Some of you out there wouldn't know what a job is, a real job, okay? And I'll admit it's better to be lucky than good. A lot of you in this town are horrible, have horrible personalities, horrible voices, okay? But like I said many times, it's better to be lucky than good. That's the way I see it today on that. Next, we're going to enter our key topics tonight. The new development of Shady Hill Plaza. In case you don't know where that is, that's across from Target there on Shady Avenue, right by Penn Avenue. They tore the Giant Eagle down. Everybody made a big issue out of it. The Market District Giant Eagle down there on Center Avenue is always crowded. The manager down there wasn't too happy, or the general manager wasn't too happy, because all them people now are all going to flood down his store. He's already crowded. He doesn't need it to be overcrowded, okay? There's not enough help anywhere around. Giant Eagle's looking for 1,400 people, all right? So here we are with this situation. And later on, I've been talking about on my series about this job market and the economy, and we're going to go till the end of the year on this, okay? Because next year it's I don't care. And next year we're going to focus on issues about how people just don't care. This year was nothing. And I've given you many examples on many of my shows here on the way I see it about what nothing is all about. Nothing, 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 nothing. Nobody cares about nothing. Nobody wants nothing, wants to do nothing. Nothing. All right. But anyway, they're supposed to be building a Market District there. But I was told from a real estate person that I know who said to me that they're putting in one of those mini giant eagles. Now, those of you who don't know what those are, there's one in Harmer, because what Giant Eagle does is when the store goes down, they replace it. In Harmer, they tore down the Giant Eagle and put up a Target. Remember when the Giant Eagle was in Harmer? All right. So they put up a mini Giant Eagle, which is a combination of a Gecko and a smaller version of a Giant Eagle. Okay. All right. They have gas. They have car wash. They have, but you can go in, and if you need milk, eggs, bread, whatever, pop, whatever you need or whatever you're going to buy, it's pretty much just like a full-scale Giant Eagle almost, but it's small. It's a smaller version of it. Okay. I was told that's what they're putting in over there. But the news is saying that they're putting in a market district. Now, somebody needs to get their facts straight. And I know when people tell me stuff, I go to prominent people. I don't go to the man on the street or the homeless guy or the guy playing the trombone out there with the little case or the little bucket there or whatever. I don't go to those people. Okay? I go to key people. I go to the right people. And this person, who's involved in real estate, so would know, told me this. Okay? Told me they're going to put a mini Giant Eagle in there. So that's what's going there. So those of you out there that think there's going to be a second market district, there's already one down on Center Avenue that's only, 5 blocks away from one another. That's not going to happen. Okay? All right? And I also heard from the same real estate person years ago that Parkway Center Mall Giant Eagle was supposed to become a market district, and they were going to close the one down by Cochran and Green Tree Road. Or they were going to leave that one there and make it a market district one at Parkway Center. Hasn't been done. They haven't even dug the dirt. Okay? When COVID hit, they had the Giant Eagle there in Parkway Center as a curbside only site, where you can go there and call in, and they'll bring it straight out to you. That's all it was about, was curbside. All right? And that's the way I see it tonight on that. Next, we're going to talk about the almighty election. And I was right, as I always am. John Fetterman won. He beat, Mehmet Oz. He beat Mehmet Oz. All right? And I was right about that. I knew it was going to happen. And I'll tell you why I knew it was going to happen, because Donald Trump was involved. All right? They all walked out of his rally, and when he got up to talk. All right? I don't like frauds. Dr. Oz was a fraud. Mastriano did what he did, and we talked about that earlier. I blasted him for not conceding sooner instead of, acting like his mentor. But he promises he's going to help Josh Shapiro out to help do better for the state. We'll see. Okay? All right? The only thing I admire Mastriano for was he was in the military. I do give him props for that. Okay? But what I don't give him props for is participating in that thing because Donald Trump told him to. Just like all those who participated in that because Donald Trump told them to. All right? So that's how that's going. Okay? So the election came up. Fetterman, Shapiro won. Summer Lee won. I didn't vote for Summer Lee. I didn't like the answers I got back from her folks, the folks that were working for her. When I ask key questions and don't get answers and get nothing but the runaround, and then you want to dance around everything. You want to dance around it all. And that's all anyone ever does with anything I need an answer for. You dance around it. Okay? Like Casey and the Sunshine Band would say, do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Yeah, you might as well. Because every answer that I've ever asked from somebody, I got to dance. People that go to the Mike Tomlin press conference, all he does is dance. Okay? You try to find answers to something, and everybody wants to dance. Dance around the truth. Dance around the question. Dance around this. You want to dance? Fine. I don't dance. I voted for Mike Doyle. I asked Summerlee's folks real quick. I said, what are you going to do if she decides to defund the police? Do you have an answer? Which I still haven't gotten an answer from anyone as to what the plan is to defund the police. Those of you who politicians out there who want to defund the police. Okay? What are you going to do? What, we're going to all carry guns and shoot each other, which we're doing now anyway. Okay? It's unsafe out there. We don't have enough police in Pittsburgh. Our DA's office can't try a case right down at the court. Didn't have enough evidence. That kid at Kennywood got off. Okay? This is what I'm talking about here, everybody. You want to get rid of violence, but all you do is this, and you don't do anything else. Okay? Last week I spoke about what Mayor Gainey, and I'll say it again. Stop talking about it and start doing it. Quit talking about it and do it. Because nothing's getting done. It's the same old story, same old song and a dance. It's the same old stuff. Another day in this paradise. That's what I always say. And you know why? Because it's the truth. It's the exact truth. How did you think the election went? Did it go your way? The way the candidate you want? Did they get elected? What do you think about the future of our country with this gang here? Okay? I'm not real pleased right now with our president because he does a lot of talking and not a lot of doing. All right? I've given suggestions, but everybody thinks mine are, they called certain people radicals. Well, my ideas are supposed to be radical. What? My idea is radical to bring in the National Guard, the FBI, and the state police gang task force and narcotics units and get them in here and sweep these neighborhoods and get these drug dealers, pimps, and all these degenerates that cause all kinds of problems and make our community bad and get them out of here. Okay? Sweep the neighborhoods. Get it done. Sophie Maslow did it. Mayor Gainey can do it. Okay? It's not hard. It's called pick up a telephone and make a phone call. That's what it's called. You have Zoom now, so you can get on a Zoom meeting with them. It's not hard. Everybody makes it hard. They make it difficult. Okay? When I'm looking for a guest that I want to have on my shows, first thing I go for is the phone number. Then I go for the email. Then I go for the Twitter or the Facebook account. All right? And I will be continuous until you give me an answer. Are you going to be on my show or are you interested, yes or no? I don't ask for much. You ever watch Judge Judy? All I asked for was a simple yes or no answer to a simple question. I don't get my questions answered anyway, so what's the difference? Okay? How'd the election go for you? Did you like the candidates? Do you think they're going to do any good? Or are we back to the same old, same old? Are we going to have a crippled economy continuing to happen? I don't think the economy's crippled. I think it's crippled because we didn't go back to work. And later on, I'm going to talk in my segment about my series on laziness in the job market. I got some news for you. I got some big time news for you. It'll make your head spin. Last week, when I talked about Rite Aid, I got on their managers about being lazy. One of my loyal watchers commented and told me about some things involving the medical business and the pharmaceutical field. Today, I spoke to my best friend on the phone, and he was telling me he went to Walgreens today They didn't have a pharmacy technician on duty. Didn't have one. Okay? This is where we're at, everybody. And I'm coming to find out now that maybe I was wrong about why people are lazy. It's because of rude people. Rude, ignorant, angry, disgusting people. More than ever before. And you know what somebody said to me once? Ralph, you should be fortunate you and your wife are out of the service or customer service business because now it sucks. That's right, it sucks. They got a hotel, restaurants, stores, hospitals, medical, and pharmaceutical and drugstore jobs available. And you want to know why? Because people are ignorant, rude, and disgusting. That's why. And the person who gave me this information, I want to thank you. Because not only did this person give me this information, this person said that I'm the voice of the people. And yes, I am. Because I tell it the way I see it, which is the title of this program. The title of this show. That should be doing better than what it is, but it's not right now. Okay? I've got a network coming up real soon. I'll be discussing it in the next few weeks that this show will be on as well. I'm in the process of moving on to at least 2 more platforms. Okay? This show is moving along, and yeah, that's right, I am the voice of the people. Because I speak for the people all the time. And I won't let people hang, but I tell it the way I see it. And there's a lot of you out there that see things, but you don't want to see it that way. You want to see it in a blind way, where you don't see it. Okay? And I wasn't going to get to this topic until a little bit later because I had a couple other things I want to talk about. But I will right now. Okay? I have never in my entire life ever seen such a lazy 2-bit society. That's what I was saying before, until I finally had to get educated a little bit as to why. It's because we have unorthodox, disgusting, rude people out here. Angry. I had a 16-year-old kid telling me 2 weeks ago at my church, Ralph, the whole world is angry. This city is angry. Everybody thinks they're entitled. They're walking into the pharmacy. Give me my medicine. Yeah, my medicine ain't ready yet. Threatening people. Throwing stuff at people. Slashing their car tires. Threatening them with a gun. If I don't get my medication, I'm going to shoot you. I didn't realize it until now. Because I thought it was all these Xboxers that sit there and play on their phones and on their Xbox and don't want to work. The last couple of weeks, I've come up with some information about employers doing the stick, sticking it to people, playing games. That's why we're in the economy we're in. And it's not going to get fixed until everybody stops being angry, rude, disgusting, and unorthodox and ignorant. All right? You go to the grocery store and find out why everybody has a bad attitude. Because of certain people. And if you're watching my show tonight and you're getting offended, good. Because you're the person who shouldn't be doing that. Instead of our country working together, we're working against each other. We're shooting everybody. We're doing this, we're doing that. That's why we're where we are. You blame Biden, you blame the governor, you blame the mayor, you blame the homeless guy, you blame this guy, you blame that lady, you blame so-and-so. Blame yourself. You're too weak to make a difference, so what do? You get angry. And there's nothing wrong with getting angry and making a difference, but when you're getting angry and it's not doing anything, that's another problem. I've seen people get angry, but it makes a difference. I've seen other people get angry that don't make a difference. That's where we are today. We're not making any difference, but we're getting angry. We're yelling at each other, screaming, dropping the F-bomb. I went to Sugar Creek, Ohio. One person dropped the F-bomb. One person dropped the F-bomb at me because I missed a garbage can with my banana peel and I'm handicapped. I can't just get out and throw it in the trash. I got as close as I could to the can and I tried to throw it in the can. And he dropped the F-bomb on me. The whole time that my family and I were there, I didn't hear the F-bomb one time until that guy said something. That's the Bible Belt out there. They don't put up with that. People from Pittsburgh are moving out there. I spoke to a few couples, and there's probably more. They're willing to do the 2.5 hour, 2 hour drive to get to Pittsburgh for medical. And what was the first 5, 6 words that came out of this lady's mouth was this: I don't have to worry about sitting in traffic. I don't have to worry about road rage. I don't have to worry about the F-bomb. I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to worry about that. It's nice and quiet here. It's easier to live here. The economy's easier here. I pay less for my house way less for my house than what I paid in Pittsburgh. Taxes are low. Gas prices are 60 cents below or 30 cents or whatever it is in Ohio. Okay? And everybody wants to know why people are leaving the city. They want to know why. They want to know why nobody wants to go downtown. Because downtown is a mess. Okay? They want to know why nobody wants to live in these buildings. Because they're not safe. Okay? That is it. I wasn't going to go into this until later on. But I figure I might as well tie the rest of my show up talking about this. But it's true. It's a fact. Medical people being harassed in an emergency room. My leg's broken. Hey, get to me now. Everybody feels like they're entitled. I don't know whose fault this is, but it has to stop, everybody, because if it don't, our country's going to go down the toilet, something awful. It's already there. And it's been flushed and flushed and flushed, and it's still going to flush. That is the way I see it on that. Next, the District 4 Public Works Building. Now, Bruce Coghill, who happens to be a city council person for the city of Pittsburgh, he represents District 4, where the salt trucks happen to come to my community out of that district. Now, last year, they had to go to the strip. That truck had to leave from the strip. They weren't doing it at Hazelwood. Now they moved it to the strip. The truck has to leave from the strip, go to it, salt, either the one on 51 or the one still up on Bousman Street. The one up here on Bousman Street in McKinley Park nearby here was supposed to be built by now. Well, here's what the city fails to tell us, and of course, you know how the city is, okay? They tell us now, when everybody was expecting it, okay? All right, and this is what I'm frustrated about tonight. They tell us that the new building isn't built yet, because there's a little small mine situation under Bousman Street, and they have to fix it. So by this time next year, we're supposed to have our new building for District 4. But then this year, we got to suffer again with lack of salt trucks. The folks in Brookline, Overbrook, Beachview, all those communities over there got to suffer again and again and again because of this. Now the city, not only just that, they also are having issues with the new building they purchased for $1 from the federal government, the old Highland Drive VA over there in Lincoln. Up there off Highland Drive, off of Washington Boulevard. That's miles behind schedule. Now the city, instead of the city telling us this years ago, like, look, okay, we bought the building, we looked it over, everything's decrepit, it's going to be a while. They didn't say that. They waited till now to tell us. Communication at its best, huh, from our city. And that's why the city of Pittsburgh is the way it is. They were supposed to put the police headquarters up there, training for the fire department, the police, and the paramedics, and then there was talk of putting Zone 5 in one of the buildings up there and getting it off of Washington Boulevard. There was talk about that as well. There was talk about putting a homeless shelter up there. Okay? It's a huge campus. SWAT training, all that stuff, all up there. All the public works mechanic stuff from the strip up there. Everything up there. Never happened. That building's been sitting there since 15 it closed. We bought it in 17 or 18 and it's still sitting there. All those buildings. Now they tell us, oh, it's going to be a little while more. It's going to be a little while more before we get our streets plowed because we dropped the ball. I had a discussion with a guy today, and I'm not going to mention his name, and I'm not going to mention who it is. And guess what we were talking about? Reverend Ricky Burgess. He's had some interaction with him. He says he's one of the rudest, not nice people he's ever met. And you know what I found out? He's up for re-election next year. So those of you who live in Ricky Burgess's area, let me ask you this. What has Ricky Burgess done? I don't know. I don't live in his area. But I do know I've tried to talk to him because he's on the housing board and he refuses to return my phone calls, my emails, and he refuses to talk to me at all. I went on Zoom on city council and talked to him. You think he'd call me up and say, hey Ralph, what can I do for you? I'm a member of the housing board. What can I do for you? Nothing. So I'm not the only one that's encountered this problem. Last winter, I talked to a woman who was at my doctor's office. You know what she said to me? She said, I went past Ricky Burgess's church and it was snow covered. He was the only sidewalk snow covered. I walked by his church, he's coming out of it. I said, or walking by, or got out of his car, or whatever he was doing. And she said, aren't you going to shovel your walk or do anything? He just walked by her, didn't say a word. Didn't say, okay, even if he would have even said, okay, I'll take care of it. And did nothing. But not even to say anything. Okay? And this is your council person, the people who are in his area. Now, does he act this way with you? Because it's pretty obvious he acts that way with me. This person I was talking to on the phone today. Okay? All right? So take a look at your city council person before you vote next time. Okay? Mine hasn't returned my phone calls. Keeps saying he is. I saw him again at the Giant Eagle in Brentwood. Went over the whole situation about what's going on with housing. Oh, I'll get back to you, Ralph. I'll get back to you. Hasn't. Bruce Krause. They're all the same. They're all the same. They don't want to call you back. They don't want to respond to your emails. All this communication we have in this country, and this is where we're at. You know, emails were invented to hide. To hide. You know, back in the 90s, I was looking for work. I was driving a cab. I wanted something with some benefits because my wife was starting to become, was getting sick, and I needed benefits. And that's why I quit and went to driving Port Authority. Okay? I didn't hate driving a cab. It just was no benefits there. All right? But anyway, I went to apply for work. And I emailed a couple of these people, these human resource people, called them on the phone, left messages. I didn't go out and I didn't apply for any other jobs because I didn't know if I was going to interview for this one and I want to stack myself up. Maybe I should have because they didn't return my call. Then when I called them, they caught an attitude. I said, I'm just calling to see if you're going to interview me or hire me, or what are you going to do? Oh, I got 800 applications to look over. Yeah, right. Okay. Then I pick a guy up in my cab that time, same day. I take him to the waterfront. He was the manager at the Shop and Save that used to be down there near the waterfront. You know what he told me? He said when they first opened up that Shop and Save diner, he had 600 positions. He had 1,800 applicants. Those were the days when people wanted to work and needed to work. We have an economy now that's actually back up and running after COVID. Thanks to some of the governors and our illustrious president giving them the authority to do so. He let them run wild on whatever they wanted to do, and the Roy Coopers and the Tom Wolfs and the whomevers of the world. The DeWine over there in Ohio, it looks like George Burns, decided to shut their states down. Businesses went under and everything else. But Trump says, open up our country. Let's go. Let's do it. But then on in the next breath, I'll let the states do whatever they want. Really? So now people are starting to recover from COVID. You would figure maybe we could get the workforce back. We could get this back. And this is where we're at now. We're angry. We're angry. We're rude. We're disgusting. We're ignorant. And that's why the drugstores are closing early. And that's why the pharmacy techs aren't coming to work. Because they don't want to deal with these people anymore. Okay? So next time, and I said this was going to happen, and you didn't listen. You didn't believe me. That's why this year was nothing. Because you did nothing about it. You could have done something about it by being nice to some of these people. You should be thankful they're there. Okay? Here I'm thinking everybody in society is lazy. It ain't it. Some of you are making our society lazy. Making our society what it is. Because you don't want to be nice. That's why there's 9-hour waits at the hospital. Nobody wants to be a nurse. Why? Because they get treated poorly. Not only by you, but by the employer. Okay? And I'm not telling no employer to kiss no employee's butt. I'm not saying that at all. But I mean, come on. You just come out of COVID. You had issues. And this is the way you're going to treat people? That you want to work for you? Are you nuts? All right, let's get back to this here. City cleaned up the homeless camp down there by the 10th Street bypass. The new homeless shelter. They keep coming up with a date for it, the First Avenue Commons. They still don't have a date yet. That's the way I see it tonight. Next, city going into communities about the police chief. Now, you know, Teresa Cale Smith, president of City Council, says, and I quote, that her community was not consulted with because there's too many police officers that live in her area. All right. I've met her, Teresa Kale-Smith. Nice woman. Seems nice. I don't know what she does for her area. Seems like she does a lot. It's not a bad area, the West End area. Okay. And when you're the president of city council, there's a few perks here and there, but not the police chief consultation. All right. That's the way I see it tonight. Next. Post-Gazette terminated their insurance on their employees, and then today, they want to sit down and negotiate. You terminate their insurance, then you want to sit down and negotiate. And this has been an ugly situation, been going on for a little while here, of course, and so there we are with that. Dollar General. Dollar General is going into all self-serve. You want to know why? Self-serve registers? Because they can't get nobody to work to help. They can't find help, so they're going into self-serve. Aldi has already done it. Now Dollar General's doing it. That's the way I see it tonight. Some other topics to talk about real quick before we go. Guy Fieri opening up a chicken restaurant downtown at Market Square. I am going to make sure that I am in the door there. I really want to go down and see Guy Fieri downtown and get harassed by bums. Before you open this up, folks, clean it up. Then open it. Okay? Till you clean up downtown to where we can start getting people back to where they feel safe and comfortable. I wouldn't open nothing up downtown. Nothing. That's the way I see it tonight. Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank handed out turkeys and fixins the other day. They said they went through 250 turkeys in the course of an hour. Well, that's good, because you know why? That's 250 families that will eat tonight. Family bonding. Holidays are the perfect time for family bonding. Okay? And when it was COVID, I thought, well, everybody's going to be cooped up in their house. There'll be some good family bonding. You can get, some real good bonding there. You can, talk with your family, play games, learn to get the family back together. Yeah. Okay? All right? That's the way I see it tonight. Next. Dunkin' Donuts closing some locations across the country. You want to know why? Dunkin' Donuts issued a statement saying everywhere there's a Dunkin' Donuts, there's a Starbucks coffee. Dunkin' can't make money just on donuts. They need to make money on coffee too, and they're not making it now because there's a Starbucks there. Everybody loves Starbucks, and America runs on Dunkin'. That's the way I see it. Next. I found this out very interesting, and I want to thank the Facebook friend of mine that sent it to me. Pool City, this is the final year that they're going to do Christmas. They're not selling no more decorations, no more trees, nothing. Guess why? Because they can't get that up there. Now it's affecting Christmas now. You see what I'm saying? Probably because some rude, nasty individuals walked in there and decided to stick a gun at the tenant clerk's face and says, "Give me a Christmas tree." That's the way I see it tonight. I say no more. Next, Brittany Griner goes to a penal colony in Russia. I already gave my suggestion. Find out where she is and send in SEAL Team 6 and tell Putin this. I don't know if the president has that in mind or not. All he keeps saying is, we're going to bring her back. We're going to get her back here safely. Well, do it. Stop talking and do it, Joe. President Biden. Okay? That's affecting her family, her wife, everything else. Get her back. Get the other ones back, too. Let's go. Should have been back already. Oh, but we're going to release some guy who causes terror all across the world. Why? Because Putin and Russia said so. That's what I would do with Russia. If it was me, that's what I would do. That's me. That's one thing I will give Trump credit for. He had Putin on a leash. Next, that's the way I see it tonight. Next, Jay Leno. Sad news about Jay Leno. You know, he's 72 years old these days. I didn't realize he was that old. He got burned real bad. Supposedly, he was working on one of his cars, and it went up in fire. You know, he's got this car show on cable. He talks about, different older cars and how to repair them and things like that. That's what he's doing now. But sad to hear about Jay Leno. All right, this has been another edition of The Way I See It. I want to thank everyone for watching tonight. And those of you who don't know, tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m., Sports Corner with myself and Smoking Jim Frazier, our guest, Tad Murray. He is the color analyst for Duquesne football and basketball. He is going to come on and talk to us about the Duquesne football team, who didn't have a really good year this year, believe it or not. They had a really tough year, made a lot of mistakes, had a lot of, didn't do so well this year. So he's going to come on and talk to us about that. And we'll have him on to talk about that as well. And also, I'm working on trying to get a guest on to talk about the Bill Cowher thing with Jeff Saturday. I'm working on getting somebody on from Indianapolis. I have some emails out to a few reporters, so I'm going to see what I can find. And if I get somebody on, I will let you know. But tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And we'll be on Linked Up as well, or LinkedIn or whatever. Yeah, LinkedIn. It'll be on LinkedIn real soon as well. All right, as soon as I'm close to getting that up and going. And on Twitter, getting that close to going too. So we're going to be getting on other platforms here, everybody, and we're moving up here. Moving on up in the world. Yes, we are. Also, Wednesday night, don't forget at 7:30 is Talking Wrestling with myself, Smoking Jim Frazier. We'll be talking about the world of WWE, AEW, and NWAF, some news about Nick Aldis and all this other stuff. So to get all that, you need to tune in here. And we'll be here live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch as well. Don't forget, Thursday afternoon, 4 p.m., another edition of Ralph Williams One-on-One. My guest, Bill Canada, local professional bowler. And also, Bill is the grandfather of the 3-year-old Aiden, Aiden Lombardi, who got murdered last year by Tyler Mason. Remember Mason about a month or so ago got convicted? Well, Bill's going to come on, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and about his life as a local professional bowler. So Ralph Williams One-on-One Thursday, 4 p.m. live here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well. And don't forget Thursday night, 8 p.m., Wrestle Talk with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Mark Mancini, the birthday boy. His birthday was today. Happy birthday, Mark. And, he'll be on with us on Thursday night as well. And then on Saturday, 5 p.m., PCTV, Channel 21, Comcast, 47, Verizon Cable in Allegheny County, and also on PCTV's Facebook page, Sports Corner with myself and Smoking Jim Frazier. Until tomorrow night for Sports Corner, I am Ralph Williams. Until next week, for The Way I See It, I will talk to you next week, and be safe.